The latest on T. Higgins, Mike Gesicki, and my thoughts. Will the Bengals keep T. Gesicki? Let's break it all down right now on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Hi again, everyone, and welcome into CBT. I'm James Rapien of BengalsTalk.com. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. Today's video brought to you by BetUS. And be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, right here on YouTube, whether it's Apple, Amazon, or of course, Spotify. We are on audio as well, where you can check out Duke Tobin and Zach Taylor from the Combine, and an audio-only sit-down with the Bengals beat writers, including myself. And without further ado, let's dive into the latest on T, the latest on Mike Gesicki. We'll start with T. Higgins. And on Saturday, Diana Rossini of The Athletic reporting that T. Higgins hasn't been informed whether or not he's going to get the franchise tag. I'll let you know. He will get tagged. If they don't agree to a long-term deal by Tuesday at 4 p.m., the Bengals are using the franchise tag on T. Higgins. But the other part of this was really interesting. Diana said, quote, "I was told Bengals decision makers are stressing the need to get a long-term deal done with the 26-year-old. And I get that. I totally do, especially before that tag window ends, before that tag deadline comes up, and then you tag him for a second straight year. And it just goes down this rabbit hole of, oh my goodness, the Bengals are tagging T, he's trapped. But it really shouldn't matter. That's simply a procedural thing at this point. Like, I'll break the news again, like we did, whether it was here or the initial report on BengalsTalk.com. We said the Bengals plan on tagging T. Higgins. That's a fact. That will happen if they don't get a long-term deal done. But if it does, it should fast track this T. Higgins extension. Because if you're T. Higgins and you're tagged Tuesday at 4 o'clock, why in the world would you want to wait to get your long-term deal done? Of course you would want to, right? So there's one side. On the other side, you're the Bengals. Free agency's a few weeks away. Well, it's right around the corner, put it that way. I say few weeks. It's the legal tampering period right around the corner, less than that. And so you want to get T signed because you don't want that $26 million cap hit hanging over you. You'll lower that cap hit significantly when you sign him to a long-term extension. On the franchise tag, $26 million is just a chunk, boom, that comes right out of your cap space. And so with rookies and everything right now, you look at over the cap, it's at $60 million or so for the Bengals in cap space, but you take out the rookie class and all of those things, you're probably at about $50 million in cap space. So getting a deal done, both sides should be all about it. Both sides should be all in. The moment that tag is placed, whether you're Rocky Arsenault, T. Higgins' agent, whether you're Higgins himself, who's in Miami, by the way, training with David Alexander for a second straight season. Saw a little social post there. DBC Fitness in Miami. I love seeing this. T. Higgins performed at a really high level last year. Obviously, he had some injuries, but man, when he was out there, he was a game changer. And training with David, I think, certainly helped him last offseason. We'll see if it does again this offseason. But I do think the motivation for both sides to get something done, it's there. And if it's there, just get it done. I expect it to get done. And the ideal timeline is not Tuesday before 4. I mean, that would be the perfect time. But that's not a huge issue. It's before the legal tampering period. You want T. Higgins taken care of so you can focus on the rest of this free agent class. Speaking of one of the free agents, Mike Gesicki. What's going on with Mike Gesicki? The latest from an NFL insider and my thoughts, what I heard at the Combine in Indianapolis about the Bengals starting tight end. We'll get into that coming up next. Today's video is brought to you by BetUS. Make sure you get to BetUS.com. Use code YouTube150. You'll get a 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000. It's free money. It's free money that you can use on Bengals future bets, on NBA bets, on Major League Baseball bets with opening day just 24 days away. And it's all in one spot. BetUS.com. Again, use code YouTube150 and you'll get that 150% bonus. They have everything from same game parlays to money lines to future bets. So don't delay. Get to BetUS.com and use code YouTube150 today. Let's get to Mike Gesicki because Mike is a big part of the Bengals offense. There's no doubt. Had one of his best seasons last year with the Bengals, and ESPN's Jeremy Fowler with the latest on Gesicki. Don't be surprised if the Bengals try to extend Gesicki in the coming days. Cincinnati is trying to secure its trio of stars, but Gesicki is another player that they were happy with last season and would like to pay. Teams are projecting the tight end market could tap out around $8 million this year. And so if that's where it's tapping out, If you're the Bengals, maybe you offer Mike Gesicki $7 million per year, something in that range. Maybe you do get it to 8. I'm not sure exactly how high they'll want to go. I was under the impression, based on what I had heard in Indianapolis, that they want to get something done with Mike Gesicki. You want to bring him back, but the door was cracked, much like it was with CJ Uzomah, Hayden Hurst. The door is cracked for him to get to free agency. And I thought about a conversation we had with Mike. It was during the snow, the blizzard of early January after the season ended. And I took the Cincinnati Bengals Talkmobile down to Paycor Stadium through inches and inches and inches of snow. Well, we talked to Mike Gesicki, and Mike Gesicki said,
I came off a career year, got franchise tagged, so wasn't able to hit the market then, and then went to New England, wasn't utilized nearly as much as I anticipated. So then, my market was super low.
Then he comes to Cincinnati and he signs a 1-year deal worth up to $3.75 million. He's trying to get paid. He's like, I know I can't make up for all that money, but I want to get some of it. And so will Mike be willing to say, you know what? I don't want to get to free agency. And what this is going to come down to, ladies and gentlemen, is what his agent heard at the combine. Because if his agent said, the Bengals are offering you 7.5 and the tight end market's about to tap out at 8, you might want to just take the 7.5 now, get it done, 2 years, $15 million. Maybe there's an incentive or two there where it's 70 plus catches or 700 plus yards or 5 plus touchdowns. You never know. They could put a couple incentives in there to get him to that $8 million mark or even beyond that. But maybe he takes it. And I get that. That's all part of the negotiation here. And the Bengals, as easy as it is for me to say or you to say, they should just pay this guy and that's it. Well, it's a negotiation and they should negotiate. I know that annoys some, but that's their job. And you might not like how they do their job, fine, but they still should negotiate, absolutely, with every single player, period. And so that one, to me, I think it could get done, but I'm a little less optimistic about it getting done before free agency. Like, if you're Gesicki, why not just wait and make sure that there's not a team that really wants you? At the same time, your agent might know, like, I canvassed the entire league. The Bengals love you. It's an awesome fit. Joe loves you. You obviously are a big part of their offense. This is pretty close to the max we're going to get. If it gets to that point, then I think they sign him. And so that'll be what's interesting. Does it get to that point or not? I'm not sure, but it's going to be interesting to cover. We are going to have you covered, whether it's T. Higgins, whether it's Mike Gesicki, all week long. And that includes the franchise tag deadline on Tuesday at 4 p.m. We'll have you covered there. Make sure you catch End of the Jungle at Tuesday at 8 Eastern. And boy, oh boy, free agency is almost here. Just wait until I tell Andrew Fox Miller about the plan I have for free agency. You'll hear it too, or be able to see it right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. So subscribe on YouTube, join the 53,000 plus subscribers. This video brought to you by BetUS. Also be sure to listen wherever you get your podcast and leave us a 5-star review. For Andrew Fox Miller, I'm James Rapien. Thank you so much for watching and listening to Cincinnati Bengals Talk. How are you feeling about the Bengals cornerback room right now?
It's the same. It's the same roster, except people are recovering from it. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same. If I'm the Bengals, I'm doing everything I can, free agency and draft. What are you going to do? What are you going to do at cornerback? They cannot do what they have because they tried it and it didn't work.